Yo, welcome back to Small Couch Reviews. It's your boy Sam.
It's your boy Joey.
Yo, we got a screener from our friends over at the Grand Shuck It. Shout out to them. It's funny, I was actually talking to Anthony, who runs it, and we were talking about this movie we just saw, The Flash.
Right.
And this movie got a lot of hype. So it was hyped up by James Gunn, all the people who saw it at CinemaCon, all the test screeners saying it's the greatest comic movie you've ever seen. It wasn't just the greatest DC movie, the greatest comic movie you've ever seen. They even got Tom Cruise to come out and say he went and talked to the director to congratulate him on the film. It's definitely overhyped. I'm going to start with that. But I kind of liked it. Yeah, let's talk about The Flash. Okay, so I think just a little bit of background. This movie is I think there are two more movies in the Zack Snyder started DCEU timeline. We got Blue Beetle and Aquaman after this.
Yep.
And then we get James Gunn's new timeline where he starts his new DC universe. So I mean, there's kind of that thought, does this movie really even matter if everything's going to get erased? But it is The Flash. And because he is The Flash, you can go to different universes. So you have no idea. That is very well showcased in this film. This is the solo Flash movie took a long time.
Right, it's just what we've wanted. So,
yeah.
It's just crazy.
It's the one hero we've wanted.
Fans wanted.
Yeah. It's taken a long time. It's gone through multiple directors, multiple rewrites. Yeah. I think the writing team and the director they got, great. Andy Muschietti, the director, who did it, fantastic.
They fixed whatever was wrong with the script.
The writer here, her name is Christina. I forget her last name. I'll put it up. But her name is Hodson. Christina Hodson. I really had to look that up. Because the movie I was thinking of, she wrote Bumblebee, which I heard was really good. It was like, one of the better Transformers movies. And she wrote Birds of Prey, which I think was actually underrated as a pretty good movie. But, she's here working with our guys behind Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes.
And Game Night, which explains why this movie is very funny. It's very funny. Very funny. And yeah, man, so like we said, it went through a lot. Obviously the controversy with Ezra Miller was a whole thing. Jovi called it. The marketing was just exactly, we haven't seen him.
Nope.
Haven't heard a peep from him on this entire marketing tour.
No.
Which was smart. I think, there's a whole thing about, can you separate the actor from the person? From the actor from the character?
Took the words out of my mouth.
And
I literally did that.
Yeah, and I think...
Yeah.
It's hard me personally, it's hard to I'm trying to be consistent. The same way I was with Jonathan Creed. Majors. Jonathan Majors.
What?
He was in Jonathan Majors. Same way I was with him, I'll be with Ezra Miller. I don't think that just going away and being quiet is enough of a
no.
People have been canceled for a lot less than what this person did. There's not enough time to go through everything they did. But I still think we probably won't see them after this movie, which is a shame. They were really good in this movie.
Excellent.
Yeah. But yeah, enough about that. Let's talk about this movie. I'm gonna go first, Jovi. So Jovi usually likes to start with what he liked, then goes into what he didn't like. I'm gonna flip it.
Didn't like and then goes into likes.
That's what you do?
I always say didn't like first.
Oh, okay. All right, then.
Dislikes.
Okay, cool. My bad. Well, I'm going to start with the dislike, because there's really only one thing I dislike, outside of all the controversy.
Right.
And it's the thing you've probably heard. There's some of the CGI in this movie is not great, but I will say this. What I heard after CinemaCon, and from YouTubers I follow, I thought it was going to be way worse than it was. It was not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Right.
Nowhere near as bad. I think back to when I watched Man of Steel for the first time back in 2013, which today I'd probably but when I watched it, I was like, okay, I can tell this is CG, but it's like good CG, and it's not like to the point where it's like like the Matrix Reloaded, where it's like PlayStation characters like just on the screen. I think this movie does that too. You can tell like when Supergirl is introduced and she's fighting, you can tell when it's CG, but it's not egregious. There's no. Yes. I will say this: there's a lot of little moments where you're like, "That's bad, that's bad, that's bad," but there's no Black Panther moment where you're like, "Wow, this is horrible."
Flipping now, stick figures.
Yeah. Now I will say there is noticeable CGI, but I think it was an art choice when he's in the Speed Force.
Yes.
Because this movie deals with Barry goes in the Speed Force a lot.
Because everyone in the Speed Force looks weird.
Yeah, everyone.
It's not. Yeah, that's.
I think it's an artistic choice. They all look like video game characters.
Yes.
So I think that's what happened.
I agree with that one. Like I think that was definitely a choice. That wasn't someone like. You're really bad at
right.
You're bad at modeling. No, it was like
it had to be because it
wanted to look a little different.
Yeah, but I mean that's it really. Yeah. That's my only thing I dislike. What I love about this film, so I mean basically if you read the synopsis, it's Flashpoint. Spoilers for a now 12-year-old comic. Barry goes back in time to save his mother, and in doing that, he creates a new world where metahumans basically don't exist.
Right.
In the comic book, it's Superman. Well, metahumans exist, but Superman doesn't exist, and Aquaman and Wonder Woman are basically about to destroy the world because they're at war with each other.
Yep.
But in this one, it's basically metahumans don't exist. General Zod from Man of Steel has come back, and there is no Superman to stop him.
Yeah.
And I think there's so much to love. What I'm gonna start with, let me start with the good CG. The beginning of this film, man. The way that's why I'm talking about the director. His camera work and the way he shows the Speed Force is fantastic.
Yeah. That was it's shockingly just great beginning.
Like I can tell, again, me and him when we're at screenings, we sit right next to each other. And I don't know if I've said this, but Joey doesn't really hold in his emotions during.
Oh no!
And when he thinks something's cool, he'll say it. If he thinks something bad, he'll say it.
Right.
So when you see the Flash first run, Joey was like, "What?"
It just looked. The idea that we get to see what one of our favorite characters has been doing in every cartoon, every comic book. It's just, but then now we're actually visually seeing what is going on, and like you said, camera work all around
him. So the CW's Flash I do like, but they do it differently than this one. This one's more like the Quicksilver stuff in X-Men. But I think it's different enough that it's not a direct steal. Yeah. But it's like, the world is slow, and he is just moving. And then you get to see him use his powers in creative ways. It's so cool. He makes cyclones. The dude,
that's one of my pluses. I gotta, that's...
I'll let you talk more about that. But, there's a scene, at the beginning, he has to save people from a hospital. And the way, when he runs up a building, he doesn't just run up. The camera, changes.
Yep.
The camera rotates, so you see him running, basically, and figuring out what he has to do to save all these people.
Yeah.
And, his calories are running low, so he has to eat, too. It's a whole production, and it was amazing.
The details.
Yeah. I also really like Jovi's favorite Batman, Ben Affleck's Batman. He played a cameo in the first act. And man, oh man, what they could have done with that character. He's cool. Ben Affleck is a cool Batman. And I have to eat crow because when he was first cast, I was like, I don't like him, and he's literally the best thing that happened to Zack Snyder's universe.
I can admit it. I said the same thing. I said I did not want him to do it, and then once I saw him on camera, I was like, well, this is my favorite now.
Yeah. He's been the best part of this universe, honestly.
They should have just let him make his movie, man.
Yeah. But yeah, so then I like that. But then, the stuff that, you see. I think that, so this movie has a lot of fan service.
Right.
But it's fan service done well.
Yeah.
It's fan service done really well. I think that fan service gets a bad rap because some people are like, oh, you're just being lazy, you don't know what you're doing. But if fan service is wrapped in a good movie, then I don't see a problem with it.
I feel like this joint had to have had it, though.
Yeah, so...
Yeah.
When Barry discovers that... when he discovers he can go back in time and save his mom, he runs into his younger self, and then he runs into he's 18, so not like a kid, but he runs to his younger self, and he basically gets stuck in this world. So he needs help from Batman, but Batman is not the Batman he knows. It's Michael Keaton's Batman.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and, the nostalgia bait was there. He says, I'm Batman, and let's get nuts, and all that stuff. It was great.
Batmobile, the Batwing.
Yeah. Like Andy Muschietti made this is a comic book movie.
Yeah.
Like he's really good at this.
Yes.
This is a distinct style from like Matt Reeves' Batman, where everything like Matt Reeves' Batman is not gonna have a bat kite or a bat plane like shaped like a bat, right?
No, everything's bat.
Right.
Everything's bat shaped.
But in this one, everything's bat shaped. It's funny enough that it's quirky enough that it just works as a comic book movie. Yeah. So I really would really like to see what he's going to do in the future with this. I hope James Gunn keeps him around. He did a really good job.
Yeah.
And then Ezra Miller. They do a great thing in this film with Barry Allen's character, because Barry Allen in the Justice League he was like Spider-Man basically. He was the funny guy, and I've never really seen the Flash like that. Mm-hmm. So when he goes back, and he meets his younger self, who's like 10 years younger than him, like his 18-year-old self, you see that 18-year-old is way more obnoxious. Mm-hmm. So the Barry Allen we've known is the mature one. He's like serious. Yeah, he's like, wow, you are really annoying. Yeah. So he's more serious, so we get to see him be that way. But we also get to see like an origin story we never got. Because this Barry Allen gets his powers in this movie, the younger one. Mm-hmm. Which, and he acts exactly how I would act. If I first got super speed, I would just run around and stuff. I wouldn't be thinking about things.
You wouldn't do any equations.
Yeah. So it was really cool. We got the best of both worlds. We got to see an origin story with a immature Barry, and then we got to see a mature Barry basically lead us through this film. And then, his story is basically what drives the whole thing. Like, that's the best part of the movie. Better than any of the great action scenes with Supergirls and Batman and the two Flashes is the story. Like, he's a kid who wants to save his mom.
Right.
And, again, spoilers for a 12-year-old comic. He soon realizes, like, you can't save everybody. You just can't. And more than any villain or anything, as much as I love a good villain, like, just heroes realizing their limitations that's something I think really drives superheroes home. I'm talking a lot. I enjoyed this movie a lot more than I thought I was going to be honest with you. So I'm going to stop. I'm going to let you take over. You can talk about Batman and Supergirl and all the other stuff that you want to get into.
Yeah, I'll go back to like the agreements on like the CG, and I'm not going to say that it's as bad as what the internet is saying, but I will say it looks like PlayStation 4 graphics.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it is kind of like... I know you had to redo this movie 3 times, so maybe the budget was completely gone to fix these things, but it does not take away from the movie.
That's true. That's another. I didn't say that doesn't take away.
Yeah.
And you're right. I think if they had more money, they could have polished it out and would have been way better.
Right. Right. And then the things that you do notice that are very clear, like we said, I feel like those artistic choices, not poor production.
Right.
I got much else to say that's bad. Yeah. It was paced fine. I didn't feel like I was sitting in a movie for two hours and 20 minutes. Like, at all. Like, so I'm going into my good. Like, it moves. But a Flash movie moves. A Flash comic moves. Even with all if it's a lot of dialogue, it moves. And that is the point. And when it does slow down, it slows down because Barry 1... older Barry is being very serious.
Yeah, exactly.
And being not only a forensic scientist, but a detective too. And like, I like that aspect, seeing that he is way more than just a clown.
Yeah, because like Barry Allen is actually really smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like, and I feel like that was definitely missing from the last ones, like where you see him. And then, Batman's.
Yeah.
Batman's. Like, you know that you're getting 2 Batmans in this film, and you're getting 2 Batmans.
Hey, I did not think Michael Keaton's Batman. Like, I forgot how cool he was.
Right.
Even fighting. Yeah, it was so good.
And it was just like, and then showing
his gadgets.
Showing all his gadgets, and then showing that he is a man. I love that. Like, this movie was, like you said, the limitations of what a superhero is.
Oh yeah,
was shown with every single
one of them.
Yeah,
every single one of them kind of lost at one point.
Yeah.
Like Even Supergirl.
And we need to see more of her.
Yeah, I agree.
Whoever,
she was really good.
James Gunn, find a way to make her make sense.
Yeah.
We gotta pull her just that. And she's not really in the movie that long.
Yeah,
honestly. But then at the same time, she kind of is. She's in about a quarter of the film. And that's saying a lot because a lot happens in this movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
I was talking so much. There's a lot that's going on
it's
that I'm trying to remember.
It's just like boom, 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 boom. You got characters from different universes. They're doing their roles in a different way because they've changed something. Like it's it's funny.
This movie's hilarious, y'all. It's a very funny movie.
These are things that you didn't know you needed.
Yeah. As emotional as this movie is, like it's funny, like a great balance, yo. And I this is like honestly, I hate to say this is like peak MCU, bro. Like when the movies like were hilarious and good, like Winter Soldier, even though it's not as good as that.
We gotta make that very clear. Yeah, man. Like I completely agree with everything Sam said about what he's like, and it's just like I don't have. It's such a standout, and it stands out from its predecessors.
Yeah, this is this is definitely the best DCEU movie I've seen.
Yeah,
maybe the Snyder Cut that we watched was pretty good.
Snyder Cut was it feels like it's on a league of its own.
Yeah, this was definitely like it's so good, and because again it's multiversal.
Yeah.
I actually think this plays directly into James Gunn's thing. Like Jovi said, like they say something in this movie that Jovi was like, "Oh, well, that's how they can explain this." And yeah, he's the Flash. He can do it. He can basically do anything.
Y'all will see. So that. Yeah.
So that's why some things, like I think that helps. It helps show how some things stay the same and some things are different in the new universe that's going to be created. Mm-hmm. This movie does it. There were great, like you said, great cameos.
Perfect. Perfect. Like you say, it's a difference between putting something in a movie just to make you feel like, oh, you guys are listening to us, and then it's you put it in a movie and it makes sense.
Yep.
And not only does it make sense, it opens doors for other things. Because it's like, without saying too much, just remember that there's a lot of actors still alive. Mm-hmm. That's it. I'll say it like that.
Okay, you know what? And you know what? I will say this. Yeah. I just thinking. The very last part, just thinking of the cameos. The very last part, there was some noticeable CGI. But I mean... I'm not gonna say anymore, but I can't.
And then some like in costume, like it's like face. If you have a character with a mask, they look very weird in certain scenes. Mm-hmm. And again, it's just kind of like the Superman beard situation. I feel like they had to change things.
Yeah.
I do not believe that the second Flash had that costume originally.
Oh, really? I mean, it was funny to me. It was hilarious. Like, it was perfectly into the movie. So the second Flash basically has a bat costume that he spray painted. It was funny.
And then with that being said, this movie opened the door for like 3 dope cosplays.
Yeah, bro. Like seriously, yeah, man. Like I mean. Yeah, like it was a great self-contained Flash story. Yeah. And like I mean like it really pulled on your heartstrings. Like his moments with his mother were really them jank. Like especially the last moment, it really hit. Yeah. And I think we got a great use of the F-bomb here, which was awesome.
Perfect. Perfect. And I'm loving this because they're comedically placed perfect F-bombs.
Yeah, just like in the last joint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I will keep going and babbling about it because I enjoyed the film.
Yeah.
This is definitely a contender for put it on in the background. You watch it while you're doing something. Like this is a movie this is gonna last.
Yeah, I will watch this again. Honestly,
it's really hard to say that if James Gunn doesn't use anything.
I know, man.
Then he has to. But it becomes a waste. But
the post-credit scene, I think, was put to show that he's gonna use it.
The Flash, so you can do whatever
You can do whatever you want. Whoever you want. It's the Flash.
It's the Flash.
I mean, yeah, man. If you ever heard, I think we really both like this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, if not for the existence of the Spider-Verse, I think this would probably be my favorite comic book movie of the year.
It's pretty funny that 2 weeks apart, you get these multiverse.
Oh, multiverse. Oh, yes. One other thing I want to say. I love the explanation of the multiverse in this film. So what was it?
I want to know who the hell.
I think it was in Endgame.
Yeah.
We saw how the MCU explains their multiverse. You know, like when the Hulk is basically explaining how time travel works.
Yeah.
In this one, Bruce Wayne explains it, and it's different, and I love it. I really like that they made it simple enough for us to understand, but also made it like awesome so that you understand the repercussions of doing things like this. So. It's different rules, but easy enough to understand it. Right. I really, really like that. Yeah, man. I don't really have much to say. Like, yeah, Barry Allen's story drove this. I think Barry was probably in every single scene.
Yes, and that's why they could not get rid of.
Yeah,
Ezra Miller, y'all, and that's it.
Every single scene. I don't think there's a scene without him. And there's two of them. And seriously, I know how they did it, but even watching them, like when he's carrying himself, that's incredible to me.
You know what?
It's incredible to me.
Dang.
What?
That may change my score.
What?
They did an amazing job of acting.
Yeah.
Two different personalities.
Yeah, two way different personalities. Again, it was really good. And
that changes my score because it's like when I tell y'all when you're watching this, of course, we know there's not two people, but it does not feel like it. It really, half the movie is them talking to themselves. And then they're in a room with those their roommates, and the roommates are talking to both of them. It's crazy. It was really good. Whoa.
And then
you just blew my mind. It's but that's such a simple concept. But it's done so well that it.
Yeah, it was really done well in this film.
Gosh, I'm gonna say again, James Gunn, do not waste this.
And again, that just reminded me when they're using their power. The power's shown. I try not to talk during
Two
movies.
Different color lightning.
Yeah, different, but and then when they were phasing, it actually showed how the phasing works down to the molecular level.
Yes.
I was like, Joey, this is incredible.
Yes.
Eddie Muschietti, you did your thing, bro. What are you gonna give this joint, bro? I'm probably gonna go. I'm gonna go pretty high. I'm gonna go 4.5 on this.
We're at 4.5, y'all. We're at 4.5. Seriously, the extra 5 is for the fact that they played two characters and absolutely made you feel like you were not watching two takes of anything.
Yeah, seriously.
Whoever was a stand-in,
good job.
Good job. The stand-in gets a gold star because
I don't know. Yeah, and I don't know. I don't know if it was. I don't know if we just saw a way more polished version. But this version that we saw was good.
I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine this any different any other way, unless they took directly from Flashpoint.
Yeah. I think Again, I don't think it was a bit overhyped as the greatest thing ever, but it was a really good movie.
Sam said it for the third time for me. It is not the greatest comic book movie ever created, and I feel like it is overhyped. That does not take away from how great this
it does not take away. I would recommend go watch it, even if you have to go, at matinee.
I see this show breaking Transformers because they're the highest right now.
Yeah.
I
hope it does. Yeah. People should watch this.
Yeah. I know how people feel about Ezra Miller, and we are on that side.
Yeah, I don't.
Wrong is
as
wrong.
much as I liked them in this movie, I'm not going to be disappointed if they get replaced.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, but
the movie itself, Barry, was great.
Yeah. Put that aside. Go see this film, and look out for a new universe.
Yeah, man. I'm really interested to see what's gonna happen now. But The Flash. When it comes out, come back here, drop a comment, let us know what you thought about it. Thank you so much for listening to this basic gush session, I should say. Until next time, y'all. We out.
Deuces.
shout out to our friends over at The Grand Shuck It. They really do hold it down, and if you don't know who they are, you will definitely want to. So go check out their website at thegrandshuckit.com. There you will find all you will ever need in the world of anime, manga, TV shows, movies, books, comic books, video games. They have it all in one nice, simple, consolidated space. They post written reviews on all that stuff, and they have several hundred episodes of podcasts that are, quite frankly, hilarious. So go ahead, check out their website. Again, thegrandshuckit.com, and also give them a follow on Twitter. That way you will never not be in the know.